Hey my Capricorns, welcome to your 2023 year ahead reading. I'm so excited to be here with you all. I'm Christine for those of you that are new, and if you're returning, welcome back. I am so excited to do your reading for the year ahead and see what is going on. I'm using a new tarot spread for this that I'm trying out from the Tarot Lady, and this is called the New Year Forecast Spread, and I'm super excited. It's a 13 card spread. I'm going to use the tarot and will incorporate some oracle. So without further ado, let's get started. As I'm shuffling, I will just let you know a few things. Know that energies are fluid. Always practice discernment and trust your own intuition, regardless of what anyone says. And this reading is for Capricorns, whichever sign that you are coming here for, or I should say whichever placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, Mars, North Node, or any other that you feel intuitively guided to examine. How this is going to go, I'm going to, I've shuffled them, I'm going to fan the tarot cards and select. I don't want to make this too long, otherwise I will just shuffle and allow whatever cards to come out, but because there's quite a few cards involved, I'm going to intuitively pick. So the first card is, we're going to take a look at the summary of 2022. Okay, we got the Page of Wands. This is fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. So 2022 for many of my Capricorns could have consisted of making a lot of changes, perhaps quick, rapid changes, thoughts as well. But with Wands, this is about energy, using and having to take your energy to pivot a lot. And this could have required things, I heard crashing down, but things coming down, things dissolving, things changing. And so it required really like a flip of a switch type of dynamic. And for some of you, this may have left you feeling out of alignment, out of sorts, perhaps exhausted. And at the time of this filming, it's happening, I'm filming your 2023 reading in Capricorn season. I imagine many of you are right at home, and so I wanted to wish you all a happy and beautiful solar return. Happy birthday, my Capricorns. So this is part of 2022, and those whose birthdays are in 2023 again. So again, there's a lot of quick spurts of putting your energy and pivoting. So 2022 may have almost looked like fanning out the flames, I heard. Fanning out the flames, excuse me. Putting out fires, fixing things, finding solutions, pivoting, a lot of alternatives and backups. And so there may have been a time where you're like, wait, we start things and we're great at, initiating projects, but this required a lot of stop and go. And so you may be looking for stability. I feel like for the past year, also too, you may have increased the amount of creative ideas, creative projects, so many things you wanted to start. You may have had, or perhaps created a folders. I got an ideas folder, a creative folder, or some type of folder, or perhaps area in your computer or desktop where you are able to put everything that has inspired you. But I sense like this year may have been a year of inspiration, perhaps laying down the ground, but also again, closing up a lot of things, pivoting, moving back and forth, and trying to figure out, okay, which is which, what is what, and where am I going next? Page of Wands, I also want to say, can indicate too the start of something early, something new. So you may have started in 2022 or be wrapping this up. Different things in your life relating to, I'm getting especially work, but it could be any aspect of your life where you just started something and it's gotten off the ground. And so 2023, and we're definitely going to get a bigger picture, may develop, whatever it is that you started, may develop more and expand into 2023. Okay, let's take a look at your career and see what 2023 has in store for you. Ooh, we got the World card. This is a major arcana card. So this could be tied for many of you to a significant transition that is occurring in your life, depending on your age, perhaps related to your North Node, or some type of return. It's going to vary for everyone depending on your age. Your Saturn return, your first nodal return, or a square, Pluto, Neptune, or some type of opposition. But I feel like with this, and this card represents the fixed signs, we got Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius. A lot of expansion with the world. I get Jupiter energy too, but again, the representative of all the signs. For your career, I feel like there's expansion, there's growth. Some of you may be Okay, I'm getting a lot. Some of you may be looking for jobs, looking to relocate, perhaps overseas or to another country, or even far away to another area outside of where you are. I'm not talking about moving, in the same city or even close by. This is a large, so it could be large distance, or it could simply mean you're making a lateral move in your career, perhaps leaving a 9-to-5 type of job and striking out on your own and creating your own business. Some of you could be returning back to school, and that could be in conjunction with your career. So maybe some of you want to up level and gain more knowledge, education, certifications, or expand where you are. Perhaps if you are in the mental health field, for example, maybe you want to get your doctorate, or you want to get a certain certification in a type of modality that you're teaching. I also feel here for your career, beautiful opportunities, a lot of growth, a lot of opportunities will come your way in the area of career for those of you that are looking to vertically grow or ascend. In other words, if you're looking for promotion in your current industry or in your organization as well, I feel like there's going to be a lot of flexibility there, a lot of maneuvering. It's almost like when you feel that inspiration come, when the opportunity strikes, don't wait too long. Take advantage of that momentum. For those of you that are wanting to relocate, some of you are going to be looking for not just remote jobs, but jobs in other places with intentionality, because I see movement. I see not just literal like movement, but moving, like picking up and relocating. So this could be, again, with career. Some of you may be relocating, like picking up where you are and changing residencies. This is the star I heard for many of you for a foundation. Some of you may be leaving behind an old industry, it could be job, but I feel like it's a career industry, and it's almost like venturing out. This may be a little bit of this energy from last year of starting something new. So some of you may have laid down the blocks, maybe inquired, maybe your organization has different offices around the country or the world or wherever you are, and you want to do something risk-taking. I'm getting Aries energy here, courageous. So some of you may be putting yourself out there in different ways and trying something very new, very different. Again, to me, the World card also represents a cycle ending. So some of you may be leaving jobs in 2023, and with every ending is a new beginning. I feel like some of you have been wrapping this up though and preparing yourself as we transition into the 2023 calendar year. So some of you may be working on, getting your career documents in line, working on revising your CV, your resume, your cover letters, and all those types of docs, updating your professional social media platforms, because I sense a pivot here. Again, I kept getting pivots with you all, like changes, and they're sudden. It doesn't mean it's going to happen in 24 hours, but I feel like many of you have been ready, have been transitioning and making that transition from something more stable, especially emotionally secure. And so 2023, some of you may actually be leaving jobs, resigning, and that's going to open the way for you to change careers and fields and positions into something that's more emotionally connected to you, but also that allows you to expand growth. I get a lot of freedom, flexibility, Uranus energy, perhaps Pluto as well. There's a transformation here that's happening, and I feel like some of you want to bust out of the mundane. Sorry for all the smoke, guys. This incense is like burning up. And so I feel like in 2023, many of you, again, I kept getting, some of you are going to be leaving traditional structures, 9-to-5 type environments, and striking out, working for your own, for yourself, I should say, as an entrepreneur, perhaps teaming up or collaborating with someone trustworthy, someone that you've known, or that you know that is able to reciprocate and be very consistent and reliable in the work they do. Because I sense a lot of wanting to try something very different, but you want to make sure that all the foundation is set. A very good outlook for your career. This is super exciting. Also, some of you are going to be traveling a lot for work. So again, we haven't come to managing your energy, but just be careful of not burning yourself out. Because again, with this, there's a lot of speed here, a lot of movement with your career. So be sure to assess whether each opportunity that comes for you is in alignment with your values and what it is you truly want, so that you can solidify and set that foundation for what it is you truly want to build in your life. I'm not talking like, you know, building your own business, but truly building this particular career that you would like for yourself in the new year. Okay, we got finances. Let's take a look. Of course, your card comes up, you all. We got the Devil card. Capricorn energy. This is so ironic. So we have Saturn, your planetary ruler. Some of you may be tightening up a bit. 2023, you may see a reversion back to, okay, time to tighten the belt a bit. Not because some of you may have overspent, especially with the Devil card we have here, and you're acknowledging, okay, let's review the budget. Let's take a look at all of my net worth. Let's actually assess my financial health. So I see for some of you in 2023, you are going to get serious about it. And again, remember, I'm tapping into the collective Capricorn energies here. So there's a lot of you. I'm getting quite a few things. For those of you that are now getting serious about your budget and you're wanting to stabilize that, right? Because that is very much a part of your career, but also your emotional and physical security. I feel like you're going to lay down, budget, reassess or assess your entire financial health and take a look at, you know, your debt, your income, and everything else related to that. Could be, again, it's going to be different for everyone. Credit report, you want to get a complete picture, I'm sensing. Because I feel here the energy from Saturn is really nudging you, okay, time to step it up. For some of you, that's going to mean actually tightening the belt and being like, okay, what can I perhaps revise and maybe refocus when it comes to spending my money? Does it align with my values? Do I really want to buy 10 coffees a week, or would I rather invest in an amazing machine or espresso maker or whatever it is that you want, and utilize my my value, my worth, and my money better in that way? Because I feel like you're being asked here with this Devil card to reassess any financial habits, spending habits that may not align to your values, and also that are not contributing to your growth in a positive way in 2023. So be careful again of extra spending. Again, we're coming out at the beginning of the year from the holidays, and so January tends to be a month where people kind of take a little step back from spending. Some of you may feel restricted, and again, for those that, because I'm tapping into two largely different Capricorns here, those that may need to watch their finances and actually pay attention to them more, and those that may actually be pushed to spend and not be tightwads. In other words, don't hold on. So if there's something that, if there's something that you really want to engage in, experience, especially if it's towards your own growth in all areas of your life, you're being asked to consider that. Because again, this isn't only about, you know, addictions, toxicity, negativity, bad habits, but it's also about asking you, where have you been a little bit too harsh with yourself? Because Saturn can be very restrictive, and there can be severe boundaries. So make sure that you're allowing yourself that levity and some room, flexibility in your budget and your finances to allow yourself to experience and to enjoy life in general. Don't be too serious about it. So again, we have that playing field. Also, for some of you, this is going to be about mindset. Some of you are going to be working in 2023, changing your relationship to money. So this, again, is going to have to do with those that restrict the flow of money in some way because of scarcity or lack mindset. And you may be someone that avoids looking at your money, avoids looking at your bank account, or you're not at the point in your life where you feel like you are feeling financially stable or comfortable. And so this energy for 2023 is calling you to reassess and ask, okay, well, what would you like this financial picture to look like? What can you do to increase that? Most people don't want to decrease their financial flow. So what can you do to increase finances in your life? For those that need to release control, on the contrary, you can ask yourselves, what is it that I would like to experience more in my life? What can I do to invest in myself? Because again, with Saturn energy, it's about long-term investments, and Capricorns are amazing at seeing the longer picture, the longer road ahead, and working little by little. They don't expect a 24-hour turnaround. Patience and hard work, they know, will allow them to achieve their goals. At the same time, it's important to include some joy into that, right? Okay. Now we have love. We are pivoting to love, you all. We got 3 of Cups. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. So for any of you that are looking for love, because obviously everyone is in different types of statuses and relationship dynamics. For those that are looking for love, I feel like you will have opportunities in 2023, especially when it comes to social networks, connections, and ties that you're a part of, and that you allow yourself to be introduced to, what is the word? To enter, I should say. So for example, if there's some type of event, a workshop, a meeting, maybe like a meetup, Eventbrite, or some type of organized event that you could attend and you enter, that's what I mean. That would allow you opportunity to meet people. I feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunities. It's simply about making sure you're in the right space and time, because if you are keeping yourself holed up in your home, the prospects of meeting someone are probably not high. Unless there are a lot of people around you, you know, outside of your home or in the vicinity that you are in. But I feel like too, make sure that you have space and you create the space in your entire life for 2023 if love is something that you want to prioritize, especially romantic love. And those that are single, make sure that you create that space, whether it's on your calendar, that if you're working, you know, 12-hour days and you're like, I want to call in my partner. Well, it's going to be difficult if you don't have that space available in your life, in your calendar, in your time, and in your energy. For those that are in relationships, I feel like there's going to be a nurturing, a deep nurturing I'm getting of that relationship. It's like a getting to know on an intimate level. I get like 4th house energy, which is the polar sign of your 10th house, right? Caps rule 10, Cancer rules 4th. So I get a greater focus on that. So for those of you that are in partnerships, whether you're married or not, but you're in an existing relationship, I feel like this is going to be a year where you're going to take a deeper dive into intimacy, into relationships. And again, we have the North Node ingressing into Aries, South Node Libra, right around July, mid-July or so of 2023. And so that's going to be a shift for everyone in the collective to assess their own relationships when it comes to partnerships, you know, to retain their independence as well, but also respect that within partnerships, finding and separating the me with we, or I with we. Again, for those that are in partnerships, this may be another year of really reconnection, because it doesn't matter how long you've been in a partnership. It's really easy, we'll just say with life, for a lot of things to fall to the wayside. So I feel like for my Caps, 2023 is going to give you all the opportunity to, again, when you reassess what it is that you want, to make, to set those intentions, to explore your relationship with your partner again. Almost like, it's almost as if you were restarting it, right? And to get to know each other in the season that you're in the space that you're in, on a whole new different wavelength, a whole new different way, because you've grown. No matter how long you've been with them, you've grown. And so I feel like 2023, for those that are coupled up, this is going to allow you that expansion in your love life. Anything else? No, I sense a lot of connections, a lot of communities. I feel like social engagement for those that would like to simply meet other folks in general, because love expands beyond romance. So I'll just say with this love category, I don't just preclude it to romantic love. For those that don't give a damn about romantic love and are looking for platonic love, we'll just say friendships, right? Really amazing coworkers, or even just acquaintances. I feel like, again, your community, your network is going to expand in 2023. I feel like many of you are going to get clear on your boundaries too. I keep hearing boundaries. I heard 3's a crowd. Sometimes I hear that when there may be a need for boundaries or simply reassessment. Because I keep getting connection. This has been something with quite a few of the energies here. So be sure in 2023, with opportunities that come about, of course, that align to your values, to be open to them, because you have the potential to meet a lot of new people, whether it's in love, whether it's solidifying a friend group or a BFF, whatever it is that you're looking for. The connections are going to be there in 2023. I also want to say, I feel like many of these folks, because people in general, when we come across them, they help heal us. And so I feel like in 2023, the folks that you come across, they are going to be a part of your healing journey in a very profound way. Okay, let's pivot to family and friends outlook. Okay, so I did a little bit already on friends. So we got 8 of Cups, 2023. Okay, before, people are like, no, 8 of Cups. I feel like, again, like I mentioned before, when I got this with the love, I feel like there's a reassessment for some of you in 2023, especially when it comes to your relationships, all of them, and boundaries. Again, there's a leveling up happening for so many, and because I'll just say 2023 is going to be extremely transformative. Not that every year isn't, but I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get too much into the astrology, but there's a lot happening. I feel like this 2023 is going to largely allow you, once you set up your foundation, especially with your career and finances, like we had earlier, right? Your career with the World card and the Devil for your finances. I feel like when you focus on your foundation and that feels good and is in line with where you want to go, I feel like that is going to allow you to really reassess. Okay, I know my value in these sectors. Now it's time for my family and friends. And I feel like some of you are going to be releasing folks that are just not supportive of you anymore, that have not been reciprocal. There hasn't been that equal level of investment. And again, this is with family and friends. I feel like some of you may feel a little bit of a distance in 2023. And again, take it as it resonates. And I feel like this is also where you can empower yourself, because don't let any tarot reading disempower you or take away your power, or even limit your own discernment. Not at all. But I feel like this includes a lot of emotional, like I mentioned way earlier in your reading, I feel like there's a strong need for emotional connection. That's the energy I kept getting from you all. So some of you may, again, with family and friends, there may be leaving behind of patterns, of behaviors that are not connected to these values anymore, to feeling that connection that you want, but also boundary setting. And so this turning away may mean turning away from your old life, the old you of how you used to operate in relationships. The 8 of Cups too also means releasing people. Sometimes for a season, sometimes for a lifetime, but there is always a reason behind it, and sometimes it's not forever. So some of you are going to be reevaluating your relationships, especially with family and friends, and figuring out, okay, what can we do here? Do I need to set boundaries? How can I reevaluate this so the relationship is healthy or healthier? Or is this person still, in alignment with where I'm at? Do we vibe still? Are things just not feeling the same? There's conversations that have to be had, but ultimately I feel like you've shifted enough that you're not going back to where you are. And so 2023, there's a leaving behind of old you, of old habits, old patterns and belief systems when it comes to relationships surrounding your family and friends. There may also be potentially a moving around or distancing again. Because again, we have 8 of Cups here, which doesn't tell the whole story, but it's an emotional aspect here that's touched upon. So some of you, especially with the World card, You may be leaving family and friends behind, right? Because if you move somewhere and it's a place you've never been and you don't know anyone, obviously you probably won't have your family or friends. You'll have to make new ones. So again, there may be changes in these dynamics, particularly if your career calls you to relocate, or you are wanting or feeling or sensing the nudge, it's time for me to move somewhere. You have to listen to what your soul is calling you to do. It doesn't always mean something bad, that's the thing. But Eight of Cups definitely means, okay, there's something that I need to acknowledge, and it's time for me to leave this situation. Okay. In terms of your spirituality, so much for my hair staying in place. Okay. For your spirituality, we got Gemini, the Lovers. This is about balancing. The Lovers is definitely about connection. Gemini is a very curious, very logic-minded, analytical air sign. So with your spirituality, and Gemini rules the 3rd house. I had to think about that for a moment. Of communication, right? Mercury. And so for your spirituality, I feel like 2023, there's going to be a reconnection. It's almost like in 2022, some of you may have had to perhaps put your spiritual practices or connections on the wayside to focus on, again, I got a lot of fanning fires and fanning the flames, I should say, putting out fires and pivoting, a lot of changes in structural ways. And so for your spiritual health in 2023, I feel like there's going to be a deeper connection. In other words, there's going to be a call for you to connect to yourself more, and that could be in the form of, well, so many different practices, because everyone's spiritual practice looks very different, but meditation, connecting one-on-one, especially with communities. I mentioned that there's going to be healing happening, and that's also very much tied to your spirituality. There's a sense to balancing your feminine and your masculine energies. Capricorn is a naturally masculine sign, and everyone doesn't always operate according to their sign, but you may have a lot of elements there. So you may be learning more about how to relax, how to rest, how to lean back, how to cultivate creativity. And we got that here in the beginning. Also, I feel like in 2023, you may be feeling really called to do something that allows you, especially up here with your mind. This is very logic-based. It's about allowing your mind to just kind of turn off. Almost like taking a remote control and being like off, so that you can relax, and that will allow the rest of your body, your soma, to relax as well. Because that's how we receive our intuitive messages. It's not up here. Also too, this speaks to elements of self-love and practices. So if you feel like, a lot of times when we feel disconnected and we just don't feel like, we just feel a little bit lost, or a little bit like we're not in tune with ourselves, it's because we haven't allowed ourselves to be nurtured. We haven't given ourselves that time to take care of ourselves. And there's so many different levels and segments of self-care. So 2023, you may actually, and everyone does different themes. Some people, you know, they have different words or themes for each year. I feel like rest, maybe foundation building, structure, solidifying, rest, rejuvenation, nurturance. Almost like some of the Cancerian, but a lot of water energy too. Even though we have Gemini, that's the energy that I get for you all in 2023. So some of you may be going back to basics. In other words, really rethinking, okay, do the routines that I have in place, especially when it comes to sleep, to eating, to moving my body, to practicing mindfulness or stillness or some type of presence, do I need to tweak them? Are they there? Do they exist? Because, excuse me, these are all tied to your spirituality, because they are going to allow you to connect to yourself, to trust yourself, and to receive messages. Also too, Gemini is a very busy sign up here in the mental state. Very heavy thinker, loves learning, loves communicating, especially in the short term with neighbors, Again, neighbors, friends, very communicative, gregarious type of sign. So a lot of you, in terms of your spirituality in 2023, you may find that connecting with others, and you got that too with, hold on, this was with love. But I feel like this could also go with other platonic relationships, as I noted. I feel like your spirituality is very much going to be contingent upon connecting with people. You're going to experience growth, simply exchanging ideas, perhaps joining a class, learning, taking a local course near you, or some type of workshop. Sensing local events, I said earlier, like meetups or Eventbrite, I should say. Some type of local events where you could study, you can engage with others. It could look like a weekly meditation practice or yoga, or maybe a course you're interested in and you enroll at the local university or community college. But there's something here that's going to allow you to connect, and it's going to help bring in a lot of balance for you, because you're emotional. I feel, again, there's a deep sense of emotional intimacy, emotional connection that I feel is going to balance with the physical part of you. Okay, let's pivot now. We are going to look at your outlook, and we're going to do this in quarters. So the first quarter we have is January, February, and March. Okay, let's take a look and see what is in store for my Capricorns for January, February, and March. First quarter, we got 10 of Pentacles. Love this. This is setting up the foundation, but long-term foundation, long-term wealth, making sure it's solid. So I feel like, again, and this goes straight in line with, I'll just say, the astrology and the energies we have. This is a time for manifesting and really thinking about what you want for 2023. And I feel like you're going to use the early months, right? January, February, and March, to really set up your financial foundation, your physical, economic, financial security. And also, to me, this is very much tied to your emotional security too, because with the red, this indicates the root chakra, and the root chakra is about our sense of physical and emotional as well, safety, security, feeling protected. Also can deal with mental disorders. So some of you that may be dealing with any mental health disorders or illnesses, if they're diagnosed, you may be really reevaluating your environment, habits, routines, anything that may adversely impact or that has been perpetuating or inducing anxiety, other mood disorders, depression perhaps, and so many more. So there's an overall sense of, okay, we are looking at our physical environment, at our physical structure. It's time to take a look at each foundation. You may strip away some parts, but this is the goal. I feel by the end, basically by the start of Aries season, start of spring up here in the Northern Hemisphere, my Caps, I feel like you want to have your foundation in order. And if anyone is great at doing this, it's you. Because Saturn is great at, okay, wait a minute, we got to reassess here. This didn't work. We're going to redo that, break that away, and rebuild. And so for the first quarter, there is a complete focus here on that. I feel like, again, there's a lot of joy here, a lot of fifth house energy, right? Which Leo rules. So some of you may have a placement there that's being activated by several transits. It depends. There's so many right now happening, or will be happening, I should say, in 2023. And so be mindful here. I feel like in this first quarter, January, February, and March, many of you are going to be assessing your environment in which you live in, how you can make that more in tune and in line with how you want to feel. I feel like joy, connection. You see, I keep getting it, joy, connection, perhaps inviting new plants, or maybe some of you are expanding or thinking about children in the future, or maybe you live with family members, or you want to invite pets into the home. There's something about redoing the home. And there's an overall sense of making sure that your home, your physical safety, and that foundation, that part of your life is rooted, that it's good and makes sense to you. So there's a total up-leveling and reevaluation here. And this in itself, it's interesting because many people don't realize the effect that your home could have on your job, on your career. Because when we come home, well, I'll just put that in quotes, home can be wherever you want, but we also can help cultivate the essence of what we want with where we live. And so if we don't like where we live, we can change that. But if we don't like what's around us right now and we're not doing anything about it, well, it's questioning us and asking us, well, why aren't we changing it? Because there's a lot we can do, no matter your circumstances. Maybe there is a particular color you would like to update your walls in, or maybe add some lights, which is very low cost, or add a plant, or pick some flowers out if you walk. But there's something here that's going to help bring more joy into your overall life, into your overall routines, and especially in solidifying these foundations that are going to help prepare for that second quarter. Okay, now the second quarter, April, May, and June. Let's take a look and see what is coming up for my Capricorns. Got Four of Pentacles. I kid you not, you guys are focused on your pentacles. We've gotten, again, second pentacles here. So I feel like for the second quarter, April, May, June, and that's springtime, early springtime until June, right? Summertime. And so I feel like, again, Four of Pentacles focuses on your foundation, particularly your financial, but it could also be your emotional safety. So there may be a bit of, I wouldn't say selfishness, but in 2023, during the second quarter, you may feel like, okay, gotta focus, no distractions. So you may retreat a bit from social engagement. You may retreat from putting yourself or offering yourself in many ways to be there for others so that you can focus on what it is you want. Some of you are saving up, literally saving up for something big, a financial purchase. Some of you may, again, we got in the beginning for your career for 2023, your career outlook, the world card. Some of you are going to be relocating or moving. Some of you already know this before 2023 starts. Many of you may not even realize that because things change. Sometimes we don't even know, right? So some of you are saving, and I feel like you want to build. It's almost like it's tied to your finances. Some of you are building, saving up. It's like a nest egg for whatever it is that you want to use this for. It's also, it lends to emotional security and safety as well, because when you know, okay, well, I have a certain amount of money for an emergency or for whatever it is that I want to use it for, I know it's there. I know, on a rainy day I can keep adding, but that allows you to feel more balanced, more stabilized. There's just a major, what I'm seeing here and sensing, there's a major rebuilding of your root chakra, of really feeling more protected. Some of you, it could be because of splits, of separations, of changes in 2022. Because again, first quarter, second, a lot of red here. But I also feel like there's a momentum here. Mars energy here. There's a momentum here where you all are, this is it. Like, I know this is what I want to do. And some of you are already planning ahead. There's an energy here of looking ahead already, not just for the end of 2023. I'm seeing even more long term. I wouldn't be surprised if many of you have 5 or 10-year plans. But many of you are really focused in the second quarter of saving up, putting away. There's a sense too, this is also not just financially with material resources, but I feel like this also speaks to your energy. Like I said, I feel like during the second quarter, there is going to be a slight retraction of your energy because you want to focus it on you. You want to focus it on establishing your own career or shifting that, especially if there's plans to relocate, on saving up. It's basically getting that foundation in order and leveled. You want that stabilized first. Okay. For quarter 3, July, August, September, we have Two of Swords, Air, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. So during this time period, this is around summertime into mid-September is when summer ends up here in the Northern Hemisphere. So summer, there may come a choice point. Some type of decision that may leave you at a crossroads and you're like, and I feel like this is going to determine balance, because you have here with the Devil card, which is 15, reduces to a 6, and the Lovers, which is 6, and even 8 of Cups. They all deal with balance, and this as well too. So there's some equilibrium happening. I feel like what it is that you are building or rebuilding in 2023 is going to lend to some type of equilibrium and balance for you, and in this year that is going to allow you to not just create that foundation that you want, but that makes you feel balanced, that makes you feel safe. So during this third quarter, there's going to be a decision coming up. It could be about any area we talked about, career, finances, love, but it's going to bring up some type of decision point that is going to determine, I can clarify this, that is going to determine obviously momentum going forward. So from summertime, you may realize that something comes along that invites you to basically choose which path you're going on. And some of you may not want to see it, some of you may not try to evade it, but the decision's not going to go anywhere because it'll keep popping up. So be aware of that. Assess everything that you need to. Don't overwhelm yourself or stay in your head. That's the main point here. And I'm going to clarify this for you all. We can see what this decision is about for my Capricorns. What can the universe tell us, please, about the Two of Swords? What is this decision going to be about for this third quarter? Okay. We got a lot of cards, but I'm taking the first one only. We got 8 of coins. So this definitely can be about work, finances. And again, for many of you, the career path, the job that you pursue is going to provide the financial safety net for you, your income. And so here, the 8 of coins, which is 8 of pentacles, speaks to of working towards that, of building. So some of you may have an option here. This could be a job prospect that comes, or the ability to invest more in a job or some type of project, or maybe business or entrepreneurship, or perhaps even working longer hours. But there is a decision point around this, and this concerns your job around third quarter. Some of you may need to invest more time, perhaps more energy in your work. And again, depending on what your other priorities are during that time frame, that may come to, again, a choice point for you. Do I want to do this? Do I need to do this? What does this mean for me? Is this where I want to go? Some of you too, I'm getting, may realize at this point you're putting in more work than you need to, or that's net than that. Excuse me, you're putting in more work than you need to, or that is necessary. Yes, I got it. You guys, it's Mercury retrograde shadow at the time of this filming, and I've jumbled up my words. So you may realize during this third quarter, wait, I'm putting in way too much work here. I need to reassess. So this is another decision to consider. Okay, for the fourth quarter, which is the final 3 months, October, November, December for 2023, we have 7 of Pentacles. You have gotten 3 Pentacles for 3 quarters of the year. So this year, I feel like many of you are very much focused on rebuilding or building up your foundation. It's going to vary depending on where you are in your life path again. So for the final year, many of you again are focused on growth. And what it is that you initiate in the beginning, what you manifest, you are going to see growth at the end of the year. And there's going to be a level of contentment, a level of happiness, a level of joy. And I feel like your slow and steady growth from the beginning of the year to October, and ironically, I'll just say October, November, December, well, early September too, that's when we see a lot of the manifestations start to come up, right? Think about if you follow lunar cycles, in the new moons that we set, they appear, how do you say it? They don't just appear. The seeds are grown. So what the seeds we planted earlier, 6 months later, they are ready to be cultivated. Harvested, that's the word. I went blank here. And so this is the long and steady progress that you've been making and really pushing towards, and really actually putting in the energy and the time since the beginning of the year. So you are going to see the fruits of your labor, whatever it is that you are intending to grow with your career, expansion with your money, with any projects related to this area, there's going to be a lot of growth. And in general, this speaks to your stability. So I see long-term growth for you. You're going to feel happy and be where you're at the end of 2023. So this is simply speaking and reminding you, slow and steady wins the race. We're not going to see the output of our results in one day. And you all are amazing at knowing how to use that energy. Slow and steady, keep chipping away, keep focusing on the destination while enjoying this process, because you will get there. Okay, we will wrap this up. Let's take a look at the biggest obstacle you will face in 2023. Okay, we got Six of Swords. So Six of Swords can mean moving away from any situation that you know is no longer in alignment for you. And again, with the World card at the beginning, tied to your career outlook, this also signifies a movement. And we got 6. So some of you are seeing a lot of 6s, 8s, or 4s in combos, which really point to balance. There have been a lot of imbalances, perhaps in these areas of your life. And 2023, the scales are balancing for you. But this is an obstacle, and this could be moving, relocating. You see the suitcase. This actually does signify moving in the tarot. So some of you are going to come to the point where you're like, shit, a job I really love, or some opportunity comes up that I really, really want to do, but it requires me moving. And you're like, this wasn't part of the plan. So what do? Remember that choice point in the third quarter. It may come up around July, August, September. And so this is something to think about. And I don't sense any fear, but it does mean moving away from where you are. And it could mean moving away because of an opportunity ahead, or moving away because you know that certain situations and circumstances you're around, and even people you're with, it's time to go. A lot of red, if you've noticed in your reading, you've had quite a bit of red in your reading. Apart from, signifying passion, I've been getting a lot of root chakra energy with you all. Many of you are really focused on your foundation. It depends too. If you're young and you're just starting out in the world, some of you are maybe leaving or graduating from school, trade school, or just finishing high school, and you want to create that safety net for yourself. Those of us that have been in the career force for a while, many of you may be transitioning, rebuilding, it depends. But there's a sense of trying to regain, refine, reconnect to your sense of physical and emotional safety in 2023. This is going to be important for you all. Money, career is really important. It's that underlying sense of feeling safety, knowing that, okay, I got the earth beneath my feet. Okay, let's take a look at how will my Capricorns tackle this obstacle. So in terms of the Six of Swords energy, so we got the Page of Swords. You all are going to be fine. You're going to receive clarity, information. It could be an intuitive download or message, or just general wisdom, knowledge from resources you consult. It could be from those around you that you ask for, advice, or simply consulting, whether it's a mentor or family or friends that you trust. But I feel like this is going to really help you, this knowledge, to assess this particular challenge that comes up, which I don't see it as a bad challenge. It just may be something out of your plan, which may be uncomfortable, and you're like, I didn't think of moving, or I didn't think of leaving the situation. And so talking it through, I think, is going to be very helpful for you all, because it's going to allow you to see the bigger picture and not just hone in on, okay, well, why is this happening? So don't be afraid to access any resources, to call on any other people, or to simply connect to your spiritual team to receive those intuitive messages, because you will get them. Okay, let's take a look at the overview of your year ahead for 2023. We got 9 of Swords. So 9 are endings. Again, you see the red, you guys? Comment down below if this resonates, if maybe red's your favorite color, or if you're really focused on your root chakra, feeling safe, grounded. Some of you may have been dealing with anxiety because a lot of changes have been happening, coming up. Again, for 2022, for the summary of the year that has already gone by, I feel like there's been a lot of pivots, a lot of flames you've had to put out, a lot of changes that you didn't see coming. Because with wand energy, this could mean exerting energy without really preparing for it. It's just like, oh my gosh, you know, it's almost like when you come home and you realize your washer, the pipe broke, or the dishwasher, and there's like floods, and you're like, it's that type of energy. And so for the end of the year, this is the overview of 2023. And again, don't view this as negative, because the picture and even the Nine of Swords, these are endings. And I feel like this is an ending to a way of being, more of a mindset, more of, okay, this is what I used to do and how I used to do things in prior years and before, you know, 2023 started, but not anymore. I'm focused on really setting up this level or this season of my life with a strong and leveled, stable, balanced foundation. So it's essentially, think about if you have a home, and this is the best metaphor I could always use. You know, make sure that there's concrete, right? And then there's a house. And again, I'm not an architect. I don't deal with foundations, so I'm just thinking of something practical, okay? So just go with it. If you see any holes in your home, you're like, okay, well, we got to tear that apart, level it, make sure it's balanced, it's even, and we fill in all the holes. Then we can put the house back on. Obviously, it requires more, you guys. You can't just, you know, remove it. But it's that type of energy where I feel like you are reassessing that foundation, because you may have realized, wait a minute, we were missing a few things. I still had, you know, perhaps I needed to get real with myself about my financial situation, or this job wasn't for me and I knew I wanted to level up and return to school or get more education or skills, or learn a new skill in this area, and I want to, you know, pursue another path, whatever it is. There is an up-leveling happening with your foundation, which is prime. I mean, to me, this is the most important thing in anyone's life, because if you don't have a solid foundation, especially with your physical security, which is very much tied to your emotional security, it's going to be difficult to do things down the road, right? It's almost like your house, if you live on the beach and there is no foundation, it's just on wooden sticks, and then we see a flood. Well, the house is going to collapse quickly. It's not going to withstand the water, you know, bending or eating away at the wood, especially if it's not treated, especially if there's nothing else underneath that. So many of you, 2023 is going to be a rebuilding of your foundation, of reassessing what used to be there, what's not working, and what you want it to look like, to be like. So again, I feel like there's an ending of the old foundation. So this is exciting. Many of you see the white bird. This, again, a strong connection to your spirituality. You got Gemini here. Air sign. Got quite a few air here as well. So I get a lot of learning knowledge. Some of you are going to be learning. Some of you may be learning adulting, how to adult, and that could happen at any age. I'll just tell you, I'm 40. I'm still learning how to adult. I feel like high school, and sometimes even our families don't prepare us how to adult. And so this is the energy too I'm getting. Some of you are like, okay, I'm spiritually learning how to adult, also how to adult in the physical material world. This is really, really exciting. I see so much good energy here, because you're really taking stock of what hasn't worked, and you're like, that's leaving, that's going. I really want to connect to something bigger, something deeper. I want connection and meaning, but first I have to take care of me. I have to focus on me, and I will see the rest happen and grow in time. There's a lot of patience here involved. I feel like many of you may have been dealing with anxiety, and I see that leveling out. Again, I'm not a mental health professional, although I am an advocate, an ally, and have lived experience. Always trust what your healthcare professional team says. And I want to pull some oracle here to wrap up the year. So these are going to be about an hour. You all are my first sign. I didn't anticipate an hour, but we're going to go with it. It's so important for me. And we're going to see what else can the universe tell us for the year ahead for my Capricorns. Is there anything else they need to know for 2023? Okay, thank you. We got full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. You guys, I shouldn't even speak. I'm so excited we got your sign. Look at this. You all appear twice with the Devil card and here, which to me is just, and we got the Sea Goat. You know, the Sea Goat, most people think Caps are like a little bit restrictive, maybe shallow with their emotions, but they're actually really deep. You just don't show them. Not unless you trust the person and feel safe. There's a whole level of safety here in your reading. Physical safety, emotional safety. Some of you are leading really precarious situations. Some of you may have been or experienced home or housing insecurity, or have lived with people where that relationship or situation deteriorated and you had to shift environments, because there is a rebuilding here, again, of your foundation. Look at this. 2023, I feel there's going to be a leveling up with your physical security, especially. Okay. What other messages, please, for my Capricorns? I love all these confirmations. What other messages, please, for my Capricorns? What else do they need to know? Okay, we got 2 cards. We got 32-5, conquer fear. Most fear is based on illusions, on truths we deny, to avoid change. Release your need for control and perfection. Doing your best is plenty. Interesting, because fear is also rooted in the root chakra, base chakra. So again, when we have fear, it means we may not be grounded, we don't feel safe, we don't feel stable, our foundation may be insecure, there may be something to look at. So again, for 2023, this could also be something you're working through right now in 2022 and leading into 2023, learning how to face your fears and realize a lot of, especially when we have anxiety, and I dealt with generalized anxiety as well growing up for many years, and a lot of times with anxiety, it's about projecting into the future, right? Because we're trying to obtain safety from the future, not realizing that a lot of what we project and we think about never happens. And so this is about really coming into being, coming into awareness about all of your fears and realizing, wait a minute, how many of them have actually happened? And what can I do about it? Because with Conquer Fear, and again, I always say consult your own mental health professionals. This may be some type of exposure therapy where you slowly integrate different levels of your fears, or realize, if you work through cognitive behavioral therapy, wait a minute, this actually isn't bad. Yes, I may be scared of moving, for example, since it was prominent in your reading, my Caps. But what am I scared of? I won't know anyone, or I'm leaving behind people that I love, or whatever the case, and working through it. Because when we work through that process, we realize in all of life, we can try to control it, especially because we feel control can give us safety. And that's where the masculinity comes in. But when we trust and we realize, you know, I really don't have the answer for anything or everything, things are going to happen regardless. That's when we can learn to trust and to let go. And it happens in iterations. Something just to be aware of. Even this person has red hair. So some of you may have red hair. We have 44, remember your purpose. You came to earth to learn how to love yourself, and all that is to achieve self-mastery, to explore conscious co-creation. Heaven resides in your heart. Look at this. For some of you, this move in your financial sector, especially your career finances, because I feel like the move is tied to the career. For some, it could be tied to other relationships, especially if you're dealing with family or long distance partnerships and you're like, I want to relocate to be closer to them. But I feel like for the vast majority that I'm tapping into, many of you are going to be considering moves related to your career and finances. And I feel like many of you could be shifting towards your purpose. Again, I got North Node energy in the beginning. For those that are on the younger end, around 27, 30, some of you are experiencing or will be experiencing your first Saturn return. And for those older, you could be reassessing your career. Again, so many different transits that could be happening. Some of you could be seeing 32, 44, or 5. And this speaks to the heart chakra too. Okay. We're wrapping this up. What other messages, please, does the universe have for my Capricorns? Oh. What other messages does the universe have, please, for my Capricorns? Okay, thank you. You got 2 cards. We got trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. 2023, this is going to increase, especially with what you had for your spirituality outlook. Gemini, this is a connection with yourself, more importantly. This is a balancing of the divine feminine and divine masculine energies within you. I feel like many of you are going to be working consciously, also subconsciously as well, on your feminine energy, learning how to trust, how to really tap into your intuition and get away from the logic. Ironically, we got Gemini. Some of you may have prominent Gemini or air placements in your moon sign or Mercury. I'm getting even Mars. And so trust is something that some of you may be learning to do. This could have something to do with your heart chakra, where you experience betrayal and you're very guarded with your heart. Because I know my Caps, it could depend too. It's vast, but some of you, if you've been hurt in the past before, you could be very reticent and you could have closed your heart space. Same thing with conquering fear. This is all about trusting. We also got blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. I got this already, the energy from the get-go. I've sensed a lot of responsibility, self-accountability, awareness. And going into 2023, I feel like you all are taking note. You're doing a complete assessment. I got that energy. Maybe even with your December reading. Yes, I recall with you all, you guys are already pre-planning. You were pre-planning for the planning, which is amazing. My South Node is in Capricorn. And so I can relate a lot to Caps. And so I feel like many of you have already been thinking about 2023 and how you want that year to look different for you. And I don't sense any blame here. I sense a lot of accountability, and you're like, yes, I got this. I know it's going to entail, really getting clear on what I want and putting in the work, but you all are not strangers to work. If there's anyone that really can dedicate themselves and know what, putting in effort means, it's Capricorn. Totally Capricorn. I just got chills. I'm excited for you guys. Okay, we're wrapping this up. We got a few more oracles that I wanted to add in here for you all that I intuitively picked. What other messages do my Caps need to know, please, for 2023? Remember, no matter what tarot or oracle reader that you tap into, or even if you read for yourself, even when you get messages or cards, I should say, and you're like, what? It's great to reframe those, because I wish I could say for every one of us that every single day for the next year ahead is going to be 100% rainbows and sunshines. No, we will experience obstacles. We will experience setbacks. We'll experience days when we're like, F this, I don't want to do this. But it's about reframing it and looking at it and seeing how things work. And sometimes it doesn't happen until we receive or we take some distance and time from it, and then we're able to realize, now I know why that happened. Now I know why I went through that experience. You got Tree of Life. You are deeply connected. You guys, synchronicities. I was saying about intimacy and deep connection for you all throughout your reading. You're deeply connected to the world around you and dependent on it for your ability to grow and thrive. You guys, this looks like this one. Hold on, let me get the... Look at this. You see the Tree of Life? This is like a mini one. I don't know if some of you have Tree of Life symbols or paintings or even necklaces or little statues or crystals. You guys, this is about growth this year. You're up-leveling completely spiritually, and we'll just say in terms of feeling safe, this is your foundation. You are conquering so much. It could be anxiety, different fears, self-limiting beliefs. Any holes in your foundation, you're like, nope, we're filling those in. Wow, look at this. this. You all are the tree. And trees have really strong ass roots. It doesn't matter if someone plucks a leaf, you're like, I'm gonna keep growing. And that's what you're doing. Okay, we're almost done. We're gonna see what ways that you can best take care of yourself into 2023 and see what comes out. And these are by far suggestions because there are so many ways to take care of yourself. Okay. What are some ways my caps can take care of themselves to balance this growth, this work, this transformation? Thank you. You guys, I've been getting a lot of twos with your cards. So if you're seeing elements of twos, that signifies connections, not just with self, but with others, harmony and balance as well. We got intuition, 28. Look at this. You got a lot of feminine energy coming out. Trust, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. These both evoke intuition. So some of you are going to be learning, this is part of your spirituality too, learning how to really trust yourself, learning how to really discern, but also tap in to that energy of what am I getting? What am I feeling? It's almost like tapping into that Cancer. Some of you may have Capricorn North Node, perhaps even South Node, because this reading resonates with me, and I only have Capricorn in my South Node, so, oh my God. You guys, what is this with the Earth? You got 13, connect with the Earth. Look at this. You are deeply connected to the world around you. And then you got the World card in the beginning. Look at this. You guys, some of you, okay, I'm getting Sag energy. Some of you may be traveling, but I sense a move. I feel like for many of you, this is a nodal return. Some of you are in your perhaps mid-30s, but later 30s as well. I feel like many of you are reconnecting back to self. This could be, again, I'm just, it's not going to be applicable for everyone, and it doesn't mean it's not for you. There's definitely a realignment here. It's like you're coming back home to yourself. This is such a gorgeous reading. And look, we have a lot of tree energy here. Some of you may connect with trees. Trees are steadfast, stable, they grow. Some of them are ancient. Some of you actually may, on the spiritual side, feel like old souls, or feel like you have a lot of karma to transmute. You may have felt like this particular incarnation has been just heavy duty, like you're constantly trying to secure, whether it's your emotional or physical safety, it's like constantly trying to do. And I feel like you are reaching a point very soon in 2023 where you are going to have that tree stay up. You won't have to replant it anymore. In other words, your foundation, this is it. The foundation you set in 2023 is going to help you going forward. This is the energy that I got with Four of Pentacles, the foundation energy. Some of you actually may, especially with all the red that I kept picking up, and with your root chakra, nature, grounding, rooting, being around trees, hugging them, leaning against them, sitting, talking to them too, that's going to help you a lot. Even she is standing on a tree trunk. That is going to also help you on a more spiritual level, to heal, to also receive information too. Okay, we got one final animal spirit card and then a final message. These are more affirmations. I think they're called, I forgot what they're called. Okay, what guidance do the spirit animals have for my Capricorns for 2023, please? I think a few turned, again, 2 turned over. There's something with 2s for you all. We got Cougar, assertive. In silence, you find power. Claim your leadership role and take action. You know where to go and what to do. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. This is total Capricorn energy. Some of you may resonate with the Cougar, or you may have been seeing them a lot. We also have personal choice. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities. You got more. You got a mountain here and nature. Some of you may be feeling drawn towards moving towards a nature-y type place. Maybe outdoors, or being more in outdoors, or enjoy hikes. There's something about earth and trees for you all. You're finding safety outside of yourself while rebuilding your physical self and your emotional. Does that make sense? Very spiritual. You guys are going, I feel like also a huge spiritual transformation in 2023 with your emotional and physical sense of well-being and safety. We get final card for my caps. You guys, we got 2. I'm not surprised. We've been getting 2s for all of these oracles. Okay, we got my greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force, they come through freedom. Look at this. And these are beautiful affirmations. If you resonate, I encourage you, you can take a picture. Hold on. I'm trying to like hide myself because many people, you don't want to see my face, but here you can take a picture. And then we have, I am kind and loving towards others while creating clear boundaries that protect my good feeling emotions. I'm done. I said this earlier about boundaries. Here, you guys can take a picture if you'd like. These offer really great reminders for ourselves. And if you keep a planning system or want to keep a, like a digital photo on your computer or your phone, it helps to look at these over and over. Create your own affirmations, especially if you're dealing through fear, anxiety, grounding yourself, whatever it is. Repeat it often. But again, boundaries are going to be, I think, utmost important for you all, because again, when you are trying to rebuild or build your foundation, it's easy to get distracted. But with this energy here, I feel like you all are laser focused. You all know what it is exactly. I think you've already been pre-planning this for a while. My Capricorns, I'm so grateful to have been able to do this reading for you all for 2023. Please comment down below. Let me know if this resonated. At least the parts that haven't come, because obviously we're not in 2023. Perhaps at the end of 2023, you can tell me. Let me know if any of these themes or topics have been on your conscious, in your awareness, if this is something you've been thinking about, what's happening for you, what's going on. Comment down below too, just to say hi, introduce yourselves. I'd love to get to know you all. If this resonated and you feel like you got some confirmation or clarity, or you simply liked it, please like this video, share this video if you feel called so others can see this. And if you feel called and would like to see more videos like this, as well as other content about spirituality, wellness, energy healing, and much more, consider subscribing. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm wishing you an absolutely beautiful end to 2022 and an amazing start to 2023. I will see you soon. Take care, my Capricorns.